Dallas Cowboys fans, this is what you've been looking for. A show discussing the team you love without all the fluff and BS. Host Greg Rector, along with Cowboys writers and content creators from across the country, break it down. This isn't the same old, same old. This is the blue and silver breakdown. How about them Cowboys?
Hey everybody, this is Greg Cowboys and this is the Blue and Silver Breakdown. If anybody does purchase anything with the link in my description, I do get a little bit of money for that, so thank you very much for doing so. And again, if you are on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the program. That's how us little guys survive. So please do like and subscribe. It is a horrible game from our defense, and our offense didn't do much better on Sunday either. It was ugly. No two ways to describe this, but ugly. It was terrible from the get-go. The RJ Harvey 40-yard TD run. Kenneth Murray was blocked down the field for 15 yards by a guard, and when you are getting blocked for 15 yards, do you not understand how to shed a block? Like, come on, that is just plain ridiculous. Bridges is not a very good cover corner. I don't know why Kalen Carson has not been used. He's been dressed for the last 2 weeks. Hasn't been used. This really boiled down to the Broncos just steamrolling through the Cowboys. It was just a horrible thing to watch. I really did not enjoy watching any of that effort on Sunday. And now the Arizona Cardinals come to town on Monday night. I'm sorry, America. Well, part of America anyway, because I know the fans will still tune in to see the Cowboys get their asses kicked. That goes without saying. But again, it was a horrifying defeat by the Denver Broncos. Just awful, absolutely awful. So I said in the description, this Cowboys defense truly sucks. Who's to blame? Well, it all starts with that guy named Jerry Jones. Yes, Jerry. He was the guy who brought in Matt Eberflus to be the DC. So don't blame Schottenheimer for this one. This was a Jerry Jones decision. And Jerry, he loves guys that he knows already. And again, this is why he's a terrible general manager. He's a great owner. He does great things in marketing and all that other fun sort of stuff. I've said this time and time again. But when it comes to being the general manager of a football team, this guy absolutely sucks. Matt Eberflus has tried using his own defense all year long. He doesn't have the players to do that gig. And even man-to-man, these guys are not very good. Sam Williams, horrifying. Dante Fowler, even more horrifying. It was terrible to see Dante Fowler continue to just bull rush guys. I'm sorry, but you got to learn how to do something else, because running into the center of a tackle, the tackle's going to beat you up. And again, it was just a horrifying effort by the Cowboys on Sunday. This team is far away defensively from having enough guys to challenge in the playoffs or to be a Super Bowl contender, et cetera, et cetera. So everybody who's out there screaming and belly aching that they need to trade these first round picks, I got news for you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Max Crosby is not going to bring you a Super Bowl this year or next year. I was on a draft site before the show. I've got a couple of guys that I've been getting at this mock draft site, and Sonny Styles, the Ohio State linebacker, I've even gotten him at 16. I've gotten him at 20. Sonny Styles would solve your issues at the linebacker position. And then there's a young man who plays for Texas A&M, the third-ranked team in this country. It was really Chason Howard is the guy I'm talking about. He is a smaller edge player. David Bailey from Texas Tech is a bigger guy. Either one of those two players could be had at 31. So there's your edge player. There's your linebacker. That's in round 1. Oh, and I also picked up a second-round pick by moving the 15th pick overall to 16 and to 18, or sorry, to 16 and or 20. I still got Sonny Styles, but we have 2 second-round picks. That's where you get your safety and your corner. And that's just in this draft. It's got to happen. Yeah, a good defense can hide offensive mistakes, but it doesn't work the other way around. You're completely right, Julio. It was horrifying to see how awful that defense played. And again, the blame goes to Jerry Jones. Matt Eberflus as well he used the zone way too much. Yes, it's gotten better the last couple of games, but still, it was horrifying to see. Savon Ravel, he could come back in the next couple of weeks as well, along with Demarion Overshown, who wants to play against the Raiders on the 17th. I don't think Overshown is the answer. I know Kenneth Murray certainly isn't the guy who should be out there on every snap with the tag on his helmet. That guy has no clue on how to get rid of a block. He has been terribly late on getting to a runner. I don't understand why they went after Murray in the first place. But again, this was the decision that they made. It really is terrible. I'd like to see Shamar Jones out there with the green dot on his helmet. I'd like to see him and Leofau just play. Let those two guys play. It was really an awful watch on Saturday or Sunday. I mean, there really is no excuse for a defense to be this awful. Kenneth Murray was just one example of a player not in his position at the right time, getting himself blocked. Even Kenny Clark was on the ground way too much. That's something that you just can't have happen when you're playing the defensive tackle position. You have to stay upright. This team was just absolutely terrible to watch, absolutely horrifying. And I watched the entire thing, unfortunately. But my view of this is: do not trade your first round picks. Do not trade them. Do a deal like I just did, because the Cowboys should probably pick higher than 15th. If you take everything into account, because again, we saw Dak Prescott not be perfect. That's hard to do every game. It's very hard to do that. Week in and week out in the NFL, play a perfect game. That is just not something that's going to happen. So again, this was a disaster waiting to happen. I really, really think that the Cowboys could definitely use those two the two of those three players that I mentioned anyway in the first round. If you move down a little bit and you get yourself a second round pick, then you've got a corner and a safety position that you can fill. There's somebody on every part of the field in the first two rounds. Because guess what? This team is in dire, dire need of defense. It is not funny. It's this team reminds me of the 2020 season, which was a horrible, horrible defense as well. The only other season I can remember being that bad defensively for the Cowboys was 2013, and that was with Sean Lee and D. Ware. Yikes! But again, it's something that the Cowboys have not addressed properly in the draft. They draft guys with Dan Quinn around was a terrible bunch of guys. Calvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright, Mozzie Smith, all of them have absolutely sucked in Dallas Cowboys uniforms. It was, if you don't understand how to watch college football players and evaluate them, stay out of that room. Stay out of the scouting room. That's the bottom line of all this. If you don't understand how to evaluate talent, you have no business as an NFL coach telling any scout what player you like. Nope, you have no business doing so. And again, this team needs defensive assistance in the worst way. But it's not just that one player. You need them at every level. Every single level. So again, I think the Cowboys have to keep those first two first round picks this year. You keep them for 2027 as well. You do not give up those picks for anybody. And you let Will McClay and his scouts get the players that this team needs. I don't care who the defensive coordinator is either. That is a bunch of BS that, oh, yeah, well, these guys aren't playing well because this is their number. That you know what? Consistency is one thing. But unless you're Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo, there is no consistency in the NFL. The Detroit Lions are playing well. Gee, their DC's now the head coach of the Jets. Their offense is doing just fine without Ben Johnson. There are other teams in that same boat. The Eagles, they keep winning. How, I have no idea, but they keep on winning. And again, they've had changes. So this is a weak excuse as far as I'm concerned. But this is what happens in the NFL, especially in Dallas. You've always got somebody to blame. Well, at this point in time when it comes to this defense, I blame Jerry Eberflus and the players. These players are not playing good football. They simply aren't. And until that part changes, I don't care who the DC is. Doesn't matter who Jerry is. These guys absolutely sucked. They absolutely sucked. So again, if the Cowboys do trade one of these first round picks for a player, it would just be a total waste of time, in my opinion. There's just no doubt about that in my mind. So let's look ahead to Monday night, and we'll you know see what happens against the Arizona Cardinals. Um, we all know that Kyler Murray is unbeaten at AT&T Stadium. Um, this is this is just an awful time to be a Cowboys fan. It really is. There is there's just no doubt in my mind that this is a horrible defense. Um, the Cardinals do have 13 players on the IR currently. So they've had okay. So since August the 26th, the Cowboys have put 11 players on the IR, which of course doesn't help either. Um, it's really been an awful experience to watch this defense though. Um, the bottom line of this for me is you really have to keep your draft picks. There's no doubt in my mind at all. Um, so let's just see here. The Cardinals. I mean, they're fourth in the NFC West. They really, again, have a lot of injuries. But can this defense actually stop Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison Jr.? At this point, I don't think so. But we will see on Monday night. Of course, James Conner is out for the Cardinals, and that's a huge blow. I don't care. That guy might be old, but he's just such a reliable running back. Um, so that's definitely hurt the Cardinals. But again, it comes down to this defense that we're seeing out in that field. Um, Oso Odigizua doesn't suck, but he's playing on a defense that does, and it's affected him. Deron Bland doesn't suck. This defense is hurting him. That's my biggest problem with the Matt Eberflus zone. Um, it really takes away the strength of our some of our best players. So again, it really is a tough experience to watch this Cowboys defense. As far as how I see this game turning out on Monday, I'm going to say that the Cowboys do win this one, but I think it'll be a very tight game. I'll say the Cowboys do win 30-27. It's just such a mind blowing thing to see this defense out there that just totally sucks. And if that's the case, I would prefer the losses at this point. You know, um, get a higher draft pick, and away we go. But we all know that the Cowboys don't tank. We don't ever tank. No, no. Well, this might be the season to do so. Oh, while you're at it, you might as well trade Mozzie Smith, trade Jalen Tolbert, and Luke Schoonmaker. Get other picks back for these guys. Because Brevin Spanford plays a whole lot better tight end than Luke Schoonmaker ever will. And Yeah, this won't be a low scoring game though, Julio. This Dallas defense absolutely sucks, and Kyler Murray will have plenty of time to operate. Um, so again, I see this as like 30-27 because Dak Prescott should put up good numbers against this Arizona defense. Pickens and CeeDee Lamb will both have big nights, and Jake Ferguson will find himself wide open yet again for another 4 or 5 yard catch with no yak. But at least it keeps the football moving for the Cowboys. It's really it's draft season, folks. It really is, and that's why I mentioned those two guys, the three guys that I mentioned earlier. David Bailey, the Texas Tech edge, the other edge from A&M, and boy, if you don't think that Sonny Styles couldn't help a linebacking core in the NFL, you really don't understand football. Then, um, you know, yes, corner is a key position, and yes, a safety is also needed. But again, that's why I moved down and grabbed a second round pick by moving that pick down. That's how you do this. That's how you do this. If you got to reload your team, you have to do this in the smart way, and that's by getting as many top 50 to 100 guys in the draft. You need to have those picks. It's it's definitely something that the Cowboys need to do this year. Um, Again, I'm going to say 30-27. The Cowboys win this, but let's not all get giddy if the Cowboys do win this game because the rest of the season is going to be a nightmare. It will be a nightmare. And again, lay the blame at the feet of Jerry Jones, who hired Matt Eberflus. And Matt Eberflus is not going to get fired because Jerry does not want to give anybody a paycheck who isn't working for the team. So guess what? We're kind of stuck. And again, there is nobody available who's a DC that would be a decent guy either at this point either. So again, this is what we have. Um, it sucks, but this is life being a Dallas Cowboys fan. I mean, I'm waiting on year 30 now, and here we are yet again talking about the same old stuff. So that's the way things happen in Dallas. Um, Everyone, take care. Enjoy the game Monday night. I'll be back next Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And yeah, take care, everybody.